How you doing, and welcome to my channel. Now today I'm taking a look at the Present Toys motorcycle clothing outfit for the 2022 Robert Pattinson Batman. As you can see here, I have the box here with all the clothes in it, and I have the body in the bag there that comes with it as an option, I think. I'm not sure. And also today I'm going to be showing off a new collar that I have for the Batman suit, for the Batman figure itself, that I got from 16 Kit. And I also got something else here to complement this clothing set here. So stick around to find out what that is. But starting off with this here, we'll just open up the box here and have a quick look at what comes inside. And first off, we have his backpack. Looks rather clean. Then we have his boots. We'll get a closer look at everything a bit later on. I just want to show you what's in the box. There's some protective foam there. We have his zip-up hoodie there. His bomber jacket, and there's a scarf there that goes over his face. And we have a set of hands there, which are very clean. There's some wrap around them there, and the wrap is just very clean. Not the end of the world. Same with the bag, it's very clean. It's the first thing that I noticed is immediately when I opened up the box was that bag was very clean. Then we have his short sleeve plaid shirt, which you probably won't see much of once he's fully dressed. And then we have his work pants there, or his trousers there. And then inside this bag here, we have the body. Not a bad old body, it seems tight enough. All the joints seem tight enough. They're all double jointed and they are ratcheted. They're not the strongest ratchet in the world, but they're ratcheted nonetheless. They're all pretty tight joints, yeah, no complaints about the body. All seems to be fine. Yeah, quite pleased with that. So without further ado, let's get this guy dressed and all built up. Oh, one more thing actually, there's something else in this bag here. A bunch of hands. They will come in handy. They're quite well detailed. They're not bad at all. Just let me get one out there and give you a look at them. Yeah, they're not bad at all. They'll be used for something else. They'll most definitely be used for something else. So it's handy to have them. And quite pliable as well. Yeah, that's a nice little bonus there. And some odd gestures as well there. You can see that one there is an unusual gesture. They're not bad at all. Quite happy with them. And there's also a pair of feet as well, which I will be using on my Big Lebowski figure. So that's a nice little bonus as well. Excellent. So that's everything in the box and the bag. So let's move on. So just having a quick look at everything outside of the plastic. We'll start layer by layer. Just having a quick look at his plaid shirt. Like I said earlier on, you probably won't be seeing this at all with the amount of layers he'll have on him, but it's not bad on material. It's quite accurate. It does have some snap buttons there, and it looks quite nice, like I said, for something that's not going to be seen. So it's quite nice that he went to that kind of detail for something that we're not going to see. And next up we have his zip-up hoodie there. Black. My only concern is that the black dye is probably going to rub off on absolutely everything and anything that it touches. I think that's going to happen anyway. But apart from that, it's quite nice. It's got all the details in it there. You can see the drawstrings in it. And it has a nice little furry hood there on the inside, which as far as I know, it's accurate. I'm not 100%. I'd have to check again. And then we have his bomber jacket. Really, really nice material. It almost feels like the actual material that you would get on one of those bomber jackets. The zip is scale, and the same with the sweater, the hoodie. The zips are scaled down really, really well. I'm quite impressed with the scaling and the zip. And then on the inside, we have the usual bomber jacket orange lining on the inside. If I can get this unzipped. I'm afraid I'm never going to get that zipped up again. But there you go. Yeah, really, really nice. All the details in the pockets there. A little kind of a half a zip there put in. And it has all the details. Bomber jacket. The feel of it is really, really nice. I'm very impressed with that. And then we have his bag, or the backpack, as I said earlier on, just a little bit too clean for my liking. It's not weathered at all. It's just my only gripe. It's completely accurate to the movie. Has some foam in it, some padding to fill it out there. If I can just get this open a little bit, we'll have a look inside. Yeah, there's some stuffed with white foam there, and it's cut nicely into the shape of the bag to pack it out quite well. And if I can just get this closed again. There we go. And it has some functioning pockets in the side there, if you can see. And all the functioning zips. And the straps are all detailed quite well, all in the right place. And everything looks absolutely fine. It's just the lack of weathering. It looks brand new, you know. And then moving on, we have his trousers or his work pants. Really nice quality trousers. Don't feel cheap at all. You can see those workwear pockets there, like a pair of Snickers or Dickies or something. And all the pockets in it seem to be functioning. Yeah, they're all functioning pockets, so you can put things in them if you so please. And some slots at the side there for tools. Completely accurate to the movie. And as far as I can remember, I think the colour is pretty spot on as well. And then we have his hands. Really nice attention to detail with the wrapping on them. I don't mind. They're very gooey. There's a serious amount of goo on them. I don't know what that's all about, but they are very sticky and gooey. They're gonna weather all by themselves with how gooey they are. I won't need to weather them. They're gonna weather themselves. There's a little bit of a fray on it there. There's a little bit of loose material, but it's very gooey. I don't know why. They're gonna weather themselves just by touching them. And that wrap around them is actual material. It's not part of the mold. That is actual material wrapped around them, which looks absolutely fantastic. Then we have his scarf that he puts over his face. My hands are still a bit gooey and sticky from that wrap. The mask that goes over his face. And then we have his boots. His boots are sculpted like the ones in the movie. Like, they're not a generic pair of boots. They are designed off the ones he's wearing in the movie. They're one whole, one mold, no paint on them, no weathering. It's just one lump, But the mold in them is quite nice. You can see some quite nice detail in them, and there's some lettering there in them. What's that say? XCX, I think it says. On the sole there. Everything, yeah, quite nice. And you can see there the strap over the toe there, which is accurate to the movie. Like I said, they are molded off the boots in the movie. They're not generic. And then obviously we have the body. So let's get him dressed and built up and see how he looks with everything on him. And here we go. Here he is, all dressed up. Looks really nice. I'm very, very impressed with how this looks, especially with the Hot Toys head sculpt that I have on it there. It makes it look really, really, really good. It looks top end. It looks top quality to me. I'd just given him a quick pan there, and the one thing I had trouble with was the boots. I had I had to put them in boiling hot water to get the boots to go on. But once they're on, they're on. Don't think they're coming off again. But so starting off, just zooming in my usual fashion, from bottom to top, we'll have a closer look at everything. And you can see that there is quite a little bit of detail to those boots. There's no weathering on them. There are one colour, one mould, as I said, but they're moulded quite well, and they're moulded, like I said, exactly like they should be. You can see the strap part over the toe there, like it is in the movie. It's completely accurate. And sorry, if I can get this to focus a bit better, picking up on those black boots is a bit of a difficulty. And then on the sides there, if I can get this focused in a bit better, you can see the zip up the side there as well, which is all detailed quite well. I would have liked to see a little bit of grubbiness to it, maybe a bit of weathering. Yeah, that part there as well, it seems to be a little bit thick, just a tiny little bit thick. It makes his foot look a bit thick. It's not the end of the world, it's not too bad, but it's just a little bit out of proportion, but it's not too bad. And then moving up to his trousers, you can see that, in my opinion, they are the colour they are in the movie, as far as I can remember anyway. But all the detail is there, all the stitching on it is quite nicely done. It's all, uniformed, and there is a little bit of a fold here in them to create a bunching up effect, which looks quite well. Again, no weathering on them, which is my only issue. I really would have liked to see a little bit of grub or grime on them. They're absolutely spotless, which is unfortunate. But as I said earlier on, we have all the functioning pockets, and they do fit the body quite well. The length is fine, and the waist is a little bit big, but it's not that, once you have them all dressed up, it looks absolutely fine. And then we have all the pockets on the side there, and then we have those loose pockets at the front. All movie accurate as far as I can tell. It looks absolutely spot on. Really, really like them. And the quality of the trousers isn't cheap as well. The quality is quite nice. And then as we move up, you can see the plaid shorts sticking out the bottom there. That's about pretty much all of it we'll see, and a little bit of the collar, I think. And then we have the zip up hoodie zipped up and put on them there. All looks really, really well. All fits in nicely, it's not too constricted. There's no bunching up or no constriction, Now, at the neck area here, I would have liked the collar to just kind of fold out or curl out a little bit, just to give them a bit of space in the neck area. But it's not the end of the world. You can see all the orange lining and the drawstrings for the hoodie there. And like I said, it all comes together really, really well. I thought with all those layers, we were going to have a big, restricted, too bulky looking figure, but it looks absolutely fine. It's all scaled absolutely fine. And we do have a functioning zip on the jacket, which I probably shouldn't attempt right now, because it's just going to take me forever and waste your time. So can I get this to zip up quickly? Absolutely not happening. No, that's going to take a few minutes. And then we have the hands, as I showed you earlier on, with the straps on them. That's a bit whitewashed, isn't it? You can really see that. See what I can do about that. Nope, that's the wrong way. No, that's a little bit better. That's kind of the best I can get it. But you can see the straps and the material on it there. It is actual material. And like I said, they are extremely gooey. Very, very gooey. So they are going to weather themselves. I think from mauling them and touching them, they are just going to weather themselves. So I don't think I'll actually have to put any paint on them or weather them. I think, if I have a bit of dirt on my fingers and I just rub those, they're just going to weather up themselves. And then just giving a quick look around at the back, and we have the backpack. And again, with it on them, you can adjust the straps on the backpack, so it fits them. I thought maybe, it was going to not fit him right with the bomber jacket on and all, but it all fits him absolutely fine. You can tuck the hood in behind it and hide the hood. And yeah, it all looks proportioned really well. I'm very, very impressed with how everything fits on him. A little bit of futzing, obviously, to get everything, in the right place. But once it's there, it's there. And then just moving up to how the head fits on the body. It's very, very tight on. This is the Hot Toys body, obviously. It's very tight on. It sits very nicely, though. It's the right height, as far as I can tell. It is all bunched up here. But I believe it's like that in the movie. I think it's like that in the movie, all the bunching up. You can see the plaid shirt there sticking out. I'm going to have to pull that down a little bit, just to kind of keep it clear of the chin. Yeah, to stop it from riding so high. But that's pretty much him, with the mask over his face, or with the scarf over his face. Everything looks absolutely fine. The height of the neck, everything fine. You can put the mask down there or the scarf down there and stuff it in, and and not actually have it over his face as well, which is, again, it's nice that you can have those options, But all round, looks quite good. It looks really, really well. I'm quite impressed with it all. I mean, this set cost a fraction of a figure, You get a body and a clothing set. The only thing missing is the head sculpt. If you have the Batman figure, boom, you're laughing. There's really no reason not to get it. So here we have him all set up again with a slightly different look, with the hood up and his jacket zipped up. It took me a while to get that jacket zipped up, I might add. Looks really good in that pose. Really like this pose here with the jacket zipped up and the hands in the pockets. But there is something else I have here that I picked up recently. It's from Topo Studio, obviously. And probably some of you know already what it is that I'm about to take out of this box. Oh, there's a back piece there for the skull. Okay, didn't see that when I first looked at it. And we have a magnet. Okay, that's pretty cool. Look at the box for it as well. It looks really nice. Really high quality box that this comes in. I'm definitely going to repurpose this box. Just have a look at the inside. Look how padded and foamed out it is. It's really good quality box. I've seen watches come in lesser quality boxes than that. Fantastic. So here we go. Here it is. This is the helmet that he wears when he's on the motorcycle in the movie. If I can just get it out of packaging there, we'll have a look at it. And boom. Like I said, this is from Topo Studio. Oh, there's a bit of glue on the lens there, I see immediately. I'm gonna have to try and clean that off. Yeah, that's a bit unsightly. I'm not sure you can see that. No, you can't see that. No, definitely not. Unfortunately, yeah. I'm going to clean this up and then we'll come back to it and see how we are. And here we are. I have tried to get the glue off it. I can't get it off, unfortunately. But here we have the helmet. You can see that it is movie accurate. It looks exactly like the one he's wearing in the movie. I'm not sure if the camera's picking up on that glue on the lens, guys, but there's definitely quite a bit of glue on that lens. The camera is not picking that up at all. But it is quite an impressive helmet. You can see it is extremely movie accurate. You can see all the weathering in it there and all the kind of little blemishes. There's a couple of little scrapes looking in it as well there. Looks really nice. And there is a little bit of detail around the edges, which wasn't necessary. And a little bit of detail on the inside. You can see the little slits there for breathing, which you absolutely won't see. Detail that wasn't necessary, but they put it in anyway, and it looks really nice. And obviously with that skull piece at the back, there is an option for putting this helmet on his head. It's not just a case of holding it. You can actually put the helmet on, and you can see the separate piece there for the cap part, or the sun visor part you'd call it. I'm not sure. Really nice. You can see all the weathering again on it, and it looks really well. Yeah, I think this is going to complement that outfit really well. So let's grab the head sculpt there. And now that lens isn't clear. It's not translucent at all. It's a solid color, which prompts me to probably scuff that glue off and repaint it. Maybe. But anyway, let's get the head sculpt and see what it looks like on. So here we go. As I said before, guys, this is the Hot Toys head sculpt. Let's see if we can get the helmet on. Oh, starting to look like Vasquez from Aliens now. So, like I said, he does come with this black back plate here. There is a magnet that goes in it as well. I'm not going to put the magnet in just yet. Let's just fit this in. You can see there, you can get the idea there. If the magnet was in, that'd snap into place there, and it just kind of, creates a dome for the helmet to sit on. Looks a bit unsightly now, obviously. And then let's just see if we can slide this helmet on nice and gently. That wasn't gently at all. There was a little bit of resistance there. But there you go. It fits on his head. Is that a little bit too big? It looks a little bit big. Is it just me, or is that just a little bit off? No, that's a little bit off. Tiny little bit oversized, is it? I don't know. I can't tell. I really can't tell. I'm not sure. Let's put him back. Stand them back a little bit and have a look, and you guys can kind of decide if you think that this helmet is a bit too big. What do you think? I'm not sure. I cannot make my mind up as to whether that is too big or not. Does the front come out too far? I can't really decide. That's absolutely not the way I'm going to be posing it anyway. If I had the motorcycle he was using in the movie, not the Batcycle, but the actual motorcycle he's driving when he's not as Batman, I would probably pose him on the bike. But as it stands, I'm probably just going to pose him holding it. But that front part, I think, is probably a little bit too far out, maybe in my personal opinion. But it definitely, it goes on his head. You can pose him with the helmet on if you so choose, which is another fantastic option. There are lots of options here with these accessories. So let's get it off nice and gently there. It came off nice and easy. And let's get this hairpiece back on now. Actually, no, let's put the original back of the head back on. If I can find it, where have I put it? There it is. It's all a bit finicky here. I've lost the magnet on the back of the head. Well, I haven't lost it, it's just come off, so it doesn't actually magnetize at the back. I have to glue the magnet back in. It's a bit futsy there, but there we go. Back in. And then I'll take the hands out of pockets. And I'll just try and put one of these hands back on and see if you can hold the helmet. If I can get that back in. And there we go. Just kind of see if I can pose him holding it. Just holding the helmet, I suppose. Don't think he's going to hold it without a hand on, is he? Nah, he's not really. But you kind of get the idea, guys. No, he's not going to hold it. Let me bend that arm just up a little bit more. See if I can. Nope, absolutely not. And why am I trying again? No, I have to put the hand on. No big deal. And there we go. Now this should work, no problem. Yeah, that holds it. That doesn't look like the best way to hold it. But you get the idea, guys. You can pose him holding the helmet. There's obviously a few different ways you could, pose him holding it. That's probably the most ideal there. And like I said, guys, it just absolutely complements the whole drifter clothing outfit. The helmet, yeah, it just adds to it. It looks really, really nice with the whole get up, the whole setup, Yeah, really impressed with this overall. So there we have it for the drifter clothing set, outfit, and the helmet. So moving on, we will have a look at him in his full Batman outfit, in his bat suit getup. And as you can see here, well, the keen-eyed of you will see there that he's not wearing his original Hot Toys collar. This is the wider Jackson Zoo one that I purchased, and he's also wearing the Jackson Zoo cape. If I can just give him a spin there, you can see that he is wearing the Jackson Zoo cape there, which I really like that cape. The drape cape is really nice compared to the original Hot Toys one. So he's a little bit kind of modified already, guys. And as much as I really do like the Jackson Zoo collar, I like the wider collar. It's much better than the Hot Toys one. It's just a little bit matte. It's not as leathery looking as I would have liked it to have been in comparison to the Hot Toys one, or even now the X Customs one that I've purchased. Just the texture, the material of it just isn't the best, and there is a little blemish on the back of it. So I've gotten myself another collar. This is the X Customs one from 1/6 Kit. It's pretty much the same as the Jackson Zoo one. It's just the finish of it looks a little bit more leathery. It matches the rest of the suit better and looks more like the Hot Toys texture and finish. than the Jackson Zoo one does. As you can see there, it looks really nice. And there's no blemishes on it at all. And the stitching and the details on it are quite nice as well. But what I'm going to do here, I'm actually just going to do a quick comparison with the three of them. And yeah, see what they all look. Let's do a quick comparison between the original Hot Toys one, the new X Customs, and the Jackson Zoo one. And here we have the three colours lined up. X Customs on the left here, the Jackson Zoo in the middle, and the Hot Toys one on the right hand side. You can see there's a lot more Velcro material on the Hot Toys one compared to the other two. In fact, the Jackson Zoo Velcro came off shortly after I got it. It wasn't attached very well. Just comparing the Jackson Zoo and the X Customs one, you can see that they're almost identical. They are pretty much the same shape. Jackson Zoo one being slightly wider in circumference, but the finish overall on the X Customs one is far better. It looks like a more leathery material, where the Jackson Zoo one is matte. It's matte down, you know. And there's also a little blemish on the Jackson Zoo one that I thought originally was glue, but it's not. It's actually a blemish. And although you won't see it, it's at the back. It just bugged me a little bit. But looking at the finish there, you can see that the X Custom one is superior to the Jackson Zoo one. There was nothing wrong with the Jackson Zoo one fitted. It just was a little bit matte and it just didn't sit with me right. And just comparing it to the Hot Toys one, you can see that the Hot Toys one is far narrower in circumference in the neck area. The front part just here is wider on the Hot Toys one and longer. But the overall circumference is narrower and not movie accurate. There's no clearance really between his neck and the collar. So yeah, as you can see there, it's just a much bigger piece. It's a wider piece as well. So yeah, it's a much more accurate piece than the Hot Toys one. Although the Hot Toys one is detailed better. You can see the bit that you won't even see at the back there with the X stitching on it there. You won't see that, but the Hot Toys have put it in. And the stitching around the edges of it are far superior on the Hot Toys one. The overall look and finish of the Hot Toys one is the best overall. Just the size is inaccurate, and that's the only problem. But there you have it. There's the three of them compared anyway. And now a comparison with the three of them basically on. With the X Custom on the left, Hot Toys in the middle, and the Jackson Zoo on the right. You can see the Hot Toys one in the middle is a lot narrower. There's zero clearance between his neck and the collar, which is inaccurate. The Jackson Zoo one on the right having the most clearance, maybe more than it should have. I'm not sure, but there's definitely got the most clearance, the Jackson Zoo one. And the X Custom one having just the wider clearance and the nice finish just makes it the better color. It's more movie accurate and it has the nice finish. Like I said, it's not as nice a finish as the Hot Toys one, but it's certainly a nicer finish than the Jackson Zoo one. You can see there how matte the Jackson Zoo one is compared to the other two, which is unfortunate. But overall, there isn't exactly anything wrong with the Jackson Zoo one scale wise or movie accuracy wise. It's just a finish. But yeah, in my opinion, just the X Custom one is the better option. That's pretty much it, guys. If you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe and keep your eyes peeled for future content. Thanks a lot and take care.